You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH fans. We've got a new edition of General Hospital Comings and Goings with some really juicy info. We've got one confirmed exit coming soon and a shocking rumor of a super couple that could exit, as well as chatter about 3 big returns. We're going to talk about it all, but if you haven't, please click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. So let's start with the firm facts before we dig into the rumor and chatter. You may have heard a while back that Nicolas Chavez, who plays Spencer Cassadine, landed a big part in season 2 of a really murderous Netflix series. But at the time, it wasn't so much of a concern about him leaving General Hospital because the project was stuck on the shelf during the writer's strike and the SAG-AFTRA actor strike, but both of those have been settled. The project is back on, and we've got more info about when it's shooting. So the hunky Spencer Cassadine actor was cast as Lyle Menendez, the older of the 2 murderous Menendez brothers. The younger brother, Eric, is played by Cooper Koch. If you don't remember this murder case, it was so huge. The brothers had killed their parents in 1989, and they were convicted in 1996. They claimed that their father emotionally, physically, and sexually abused them for years, and they were scared it was going to keep on. But the DA claimed that the Menendez brothers killed their parents to get their hands on money. At the trial, a female cousin, did say when the boys were like 7 and 9, they told her about the abuse. And originally, the 2 young men were tried separately. The juries both deadlocked, and then they retried them together and finally got a conviction. It's a really wild story, and this is sure to be a creepy season 2 of the docuseries on Netflix. The official title of the docuseries season 2 is Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. So season 1 of the series Monster was also very good, and it was about Jeffrey Dahmer, the infamous cannibal who was later murdered himself in prison, I believe because he was creeping people out, because he was very creepy. So season 2 of Monster begins shooting mid-December of 2023 with plans to wrap shooting by February of 2024. So unless they shoot a whole lot of scenes ahead for Nicolas Chavez as Spencer, he'll likely need to take time off General Hospital for this very exciting project, which is a great opportunity for his career. A mid-December exit means he would be in Port Charles through mid-January because they film about a month ahead, unless they find some way to do a workaround, So assuming that Mr. Chavez exits GH, the question is, how will they write out Spencer for 2 whole months? I would say the easiest path would be to say he's gone to hunt down his father, Nikolas Cassadine. That's how they covered a lengthy vacation for Jeannie Francis, who of course plays his grandma Laura Spencer. So we'll see. We will definitely let you know when we hear more about how they're going to handle the workaround or absence for the project. So now let's talk about juicy rumors. There are 5 rumors, 2 about exits and 3 about actors coming to the ABC soap opera. The 3 new actor chatter, I totally believe that it's happening. But the 2 exits that are rumored, that seems a stretch, but you never know. The 3 new actor is more of a leak, and the 2 exits is a rumor. So we're going to start with the 2 exit rumors. The source that gave this rumor out, they have a decent accuracy rating, but it's by no means perfect. So take this not with a grain of salt, but more like with a block of salt. The reason I hesitate to believe it is because it's about 2 people that are a couple, and they're tied to so many other characters and they're fan favorites. So I'm going to tell you about it because there's a chance it could happen, and I want you to be forewarned, but I'm on the fence and I'm not really buying it all. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. So the rumor says Kelly Monaco and Dominic Zamprogna are set to exit as Sam and Dante. I'm giving you this because the source overall is pretty trustworthy, but I don't see this happening. I mean, they're tied to the Quartermains and the Corinthos families and to several front burner characters and storylines. I will say Sam does not have a storyline of her own lately, other than just as a supporting and reactionary character for other plots. You know, Dante is one of two cops in town, and there have been hints that Lulu might return because they, had that whole thing with her still in the coma. Of the two, I would expect Dom Zamprogna to exit before Kelly Monaco because he has exited before and come back, but she's kind of been a mainstay for the most part. So I do hope that neither's going, and I don't see them going right now. But, the cast of General Hospital is terribly bloated. They honestly have way too many characters and way too many plots going both. So now let's speak to the three rumored additions to the cast, which I find more plausible. This I treat more of as a leak than a rumor because there's a lot more information about it, and it seems very reasonable and plausible and not just like, what? So of interest is that this same source that leaked that these three actors are coming back said that Roger Howarth's contract was not renewed so they could use that money to pay for these actors, not actresses, actors, 3 males. And yes, I said back, not new characters. Looks like they're returning characters. So the chatter is 3 characters coming back, all males older than 40 years of age. One has reportedly been off the scene in Port Charles for more than 10 years, and another has been gone for less than 5 years, and the third was last seen this year in 2023. So there's some vague information, but there's several layers of it. One of these is supposedly a long-term return, one a short-term return, and the third, they don't know yet whether it's going to be short or long-term. This person has a family member that works behind the scenes at General Hospital. They're not necessarily very high up, but they do see and hear things. So the one that exited in the last 5 years is reportedly not a big household name type of person. So probably a smaller role, someone that wasn't front burner, things like that. So I saw this a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking really hard. I like to put things on my mental back burner and let them percolate. So I've been thinking about who this might be. And for the one last seen in 2023, I'm wondering if it's Nikolas Cassadine, but if the parameters are accurate, it would not be Marcus Coloma and it would be Adam Huss, because Marcus wasn't seen in 2023 at all. Adam Huss was seen in 2023. Or it could be Marcus as the one that exited in the last 5 years. He's a bigger name than the rumor indicates. So it absolutely would make sense to bring Nikolas Cassadine back. I really liked Marcus in the part, but he doesn't fit the other terms of this spoiler chatter. So Adam Huss was okay in the role, and I bet if he stuck around for a while, he'd grow on me. I get used to seeing him as Nicholas, just like I got used to seeing Marcus Coloma after Tyler Christopher's exit, God rest his soul. So Nicholas would make a lot of sense as a return storyline-wise because of his son Ace Cassadine, amnesiac Esme, and Spencer playing pseudo-daddy to his little brother. I also thought maybe Ryan Carnes coming back as Lucas Jones for the one who's been gone less than 5 years. I mean, it's been a minute since he's been seen, 2022-ish, maybe 2021. I'm trying to remember. I really like both the actor and the character, and it would make sense if he was the short-term return and he came back for the funeral of his mom, Bobby Spencer. Tracy Quartermain is in Amsterdam right now with Bobby, and, we desperately need closure for the character of Bobby and for actress Jackie Zeman. As I've said before, I think Tracy is going to return with word that Bobby died in the Netherlands, probably bringing her body home to put her to rest. And Lucas would be an expected part for her memorial service, and I'm sure the actor would be willing to come back to do that little arc to honor Jackie Zeman. So another name, people always want to know about is Steve Burton. He had his last air date in 2021. He would match with some of the parameters, but not all of them. So So I don't think we're looking at a Jason Morgan comeback, at least not yet. Burton confirmed he had inked a one-year deal with Days of Our Lives that kicked off in October of 2022, and then it was supposed to expire in October 2023. They may have renewed him, and he just hasn't said anything because he actually didn't even confirm that he was on contract with Days for quite a while. Days showrunner Ron Carlivati has known Steve Burton for a long time because he used to be the head writer at General Hospital. And as far as I know, they are on friendly terms, so they may have renewed him. His character is pretty interesting on Days. He's playing an ex-Navy SEAL, kind of like his twin Drew back over on General Hospital. So I don't expect that any of these spoilers are about Tony Geary coming back as Luke Spencer, because the character is supposed to be dead, and Tony has been pretty vocal about being completely done with General Hospital, and he's happy living in Amsterdam. So it's kind of weird that they said Luke was living in the same city where Tony Geary retired to in real life, art imitating life and all that. So I'm also wondering if one of these three alleged returnees might be Anthony Montgomery as Dr. Andre Maddox, because he's the expert at reversing brainwashing. So maybe he comes back to consult on Charlotte's case in case Victor really did program her and wasn't just low-key gaslighting her. And Anthony Montgomery was on and off the show for years, but not for an extended number of episodes, about 125 in total. So he would match several of the parameters given in this leak. So there's one last name I want to float by you guys I think would be exciting, even if he didn't stay too long. That's Matt Cohen as Dr. Griffin Monroe. He has been gone less than 5 years, and if the other two are vets that stayed longer, he would meet the requirement of having been on the show the least amount of time of the three. So, with Ava single and coming off the stress of Nicholas letting her think he was dead and then Austin betraying her, she could use a friendly face. But admittedly, she and Griffin weren't exactly on friendly terms towards the end, because he had started dating her daughter, Kiki Jerome, who was then brutally murdered by Ryan Chamberlain. By the way, if you don't know it, Haley Aaron is over on Y&R as this wicked new character, and she is so good. She is playing a villainous little minx. She is bad, 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 and she's killing it. So because this comings and goings leak / rumor is all about guys over 40, that does narrow the scope quite a bit. And they're all supposedly playing, presumably, the same character they played before. So it's hard to imagine who we really need back. The cast of GH is huge. There's so many plot lines, as you heard me gripe about. So I kind of wonder if they're going to write a plot for the Quartermain llama. Maybe it gets in a love triangle with the horse and they bring in a camel. I mean, So I do feel like the person that springs to mind, the two, are Nicholas and then Lucas Jones. So to refresh you, one of these actors has been gone more than 10, another gone less than 5, and one only since this year. So the one that's been gone less than 5 is the one who was on the show the shortest amount of time, who's supposed to be kind of the least brand namey of the three. So drop your comments on who you would like to see back. And just real quick, some other casting updates. Ellen Travolta is out soon as Gloria Cirillo. Look for her exit not long after the Q Thanksgiving disaster wraps. The same goes for Brooklyn Ray Silzer as Emma Drake, also leaving very soon. She didn't stay for long. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely come back for more. We're talking GH here 7 days a week. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.